The opponents claim that the reason students have low performance scores is because of the tenure system is a sweeping generalization. And there is no substantial evidence to suggest that the tenure system has any link to creating inefficient teachers. Other factors such as location, funding, administration, and the students themselves taking accountability for their own scores have not been taken into account. The opponent also claims that the tenure system creates more ineffective teachers, unlikely to get fired, when in fact its purpose is to provide legal protection for teachers in order to preserve academic freedom, a key component in the quality of education. This does not mean that it's not possible to fire teachers, but there needs to be substantial reason for it. Also, the affirmative has stated a false notion that receiving tenure is easy today and that nearly all teachers receive it. This is false because there has been many tenure policy changes that have generally made it difficult to achieve tenure today. In fact, the New York City Department of Education data shows that before it was 94% of teachers that were approved for tenure during 2007 and 2008, but the approval rate dropped to 89% in 2009, then 56% in the three subsequent years, and that number just keeps lowering. But these decreases in tenure systems tenure approval rates have resulted in an increased percentage of the likelihood that a teacher will be extended and stay on contract, which increases the likeliness that they will transfer or exit. So we need to find a better balance on how to execute tenure efficiently or make the profession look more, to execute tenure efficiently without making teachers feel unworthy to receive protection and academic freedom, and make the profession look more attractive. If extending tenure is already distancing teachers from the profession, then what would abolishing it do to it? Teachers value the protection of tenure, and if we cannot provide them a fair due process and protect them from the biased hiring and firing, then they are simply unwilling to work in those conditions. Also, who is to say that tenure is the cause of all the problems? If tenure was a problem, then why do not all schools suffer? As Dr. Ravitch, a professor of education at New York University, puts it, the loss of tenure will make it even more difficult to staff schools in the poorest neighborhoods. Abolishing tenure solves no problems for students and creates massive demoralization among administrations at whose whim they serve. If we continue to cut the budget, then remove tenure, and don't have the means to provide teachers bonuses, incentives, or adequate protection, it will be impossible to maintain and recruit any teachers, let alone those of quality. The American school district gaps are more complex than the tenure system, but no system is perfect, and tenure is the only and best scenario for our schools in order to preserve academic freedom and encourage teacher morale and the profession of teaching for the future.